Welcome back to another video, guys. This is Haloist here, and today we will be continuing our Border Pact guide, and we are starting off with Area 1, which is Port Kyaranta. This area is relatively easy, and you can use it as a tutorial map to prepare for what's to come in the future. Now let's move on to the first area, which is Port Hub, and the only notable thing here is that in the first fight, the enemies here take more physical damage and less elemental damage. That is why I'm using a physical team with Alpha as the leader and Live Eclipse as the healer. As for the mob layouts in the map, for the first fight, the first wave of enemies are 1 Protector and 2 Gardeners, followed up by the second wave, which is 2 Tamers. In the second fight, there are 2 Ronins, and in the third fight, there are 2 Royal Guards. The reason why I'm using Bianca Veritas on the third fight is because the Royal Guards like to do a spin to win move, which is very hard to dodge as a melee character. Now let's start the stage. For the first wave, it is recommended to go for the Protector first because he is less tanky than the other 2 Gardeners. Once he has been dealt with, you can take your time to fight the Gardeners. The second wave is pretty straightforward as well, so just take your time and get through it. Okay, time for the second fight. The only thing to note here is that the Ronins tend to use a rectangular AoE, and sometimes the lateral AoE is larger than what is telegraphed. Now for the third fight. I'm pretty sure most of you know how annoying the spinning attack of the Royal Guards are. That is why using a ranged character here can bait them into using their spear throws instead, so you have an easier time. moving on to the unloading area. The only thing to note here is that for the first fight, enemies take more fire damage and less physical damage. That is why I'm using Kyaranta Ember here. The mobs for this area are as follows. For the first fight, there will be 1 shield bearer and 2 missionaries. For the second fight, there will be 1 tamer, 2 sentry guns, and 2 executors. And for the third fight, there will be 2 rocket musashis. For the first fight, I would recommend that you focus on the missionaries first to prevent them from summoning their minions. After that, the shield bearer should be a piece of cake. For the second fight, I would recommend that you focus on the sentry guns first to prevent getting sniped. Once they are dead, you can go for the executors next since they are more deadly than the tamer. The third fight is pretty straightforward, but just look out for the lightning strikes from the lightning shield buff on one of the Musashis. And finally, we are at the core management area. There are no damage buffs or debuffs in this area, but your construct choice will be heavily influenced by the enemy in the third fight, and the mobs in this area are as follows. For the first fight, you have 2 excavators. For the second fight, you have 2 constructs, and for the third fight, you will be fighting a boss, which is Nozzle. The special thing about Nozzle here is that he has a radiation buff which makes you take constant damage when you are close to him. This makes using a melee construct extremely punishing, and I would really recommend you to use a range construct instead. I would even say that using a healer here is a must unless you are using a construct who can consistently provide shields. For the first fight, just take note of the ground slam and thrust attacks, since getting hit by any of these attacks will initiate a combo move which you cannot escape from. For the second fight, it is the same strategy as the first fight, since getting hit by any of the construct's moves will initiate a combo and they can possibly stunlock you. A good tip here is to make use of the audio cues to time your dodges. For the third fight, just make sure you do not get hit by any of the body slam moves by Nozzle, since it will most likely be a one-shot. Even if the body slam doesn't look like it's going to hit you, just dodge it, since sometimes the AoE is larger than what you think it is. And there we have it. We are done with the tutorial area, and the next 7 areas will be much tougher than this one. If this video has helped you, feel free to drop a like, and if you would like to see guides for the next 7 areas, you can subscribe to the channel to be updated. Thanks for watching and have a great day.